everyone, and welcome to this week's DSS break. Thank you so much for joining us today. I know there's a lot of you guys here, so really excited to have you. And we're here live, so every other week to talk about data science experiences and best practices with leading data science professionals in a 15-minute break. And I'm Anna, the founder of Data Science Salon, and I'm streaming live here from our headquarters, which is located in the heart of Miami, right next to the historic design district uh, area. And on today's break, I'm sitting down with Supreet Kaur, who is an AI product manager at Morgan Stanley, and she serves as a product owner for various really cool AI products. And prior to this, she worked as a technology and data science consultant, delivering impactful data science use cases and launching really neat strategies actually in the pharmaceutical space, which is really cool. And today we're going to be talking about really how synthetic data can help protect customer privacy, and particularly really in the FinTech space. But we'll also talk a little bit about what this actually is and what it means for everything else that's out there, kind of. And we can also, talk about all the possibilities that this can offer because it's so new. There's so much opportunity. So thank you so much for joining us this DSS break episode, Supreet. It's really nice to have you here.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. I love these quick events where people can learn and also we can have fun.
Yeah, 100%. So let me just go ahead and dive in. You have such a rich data science background, and I know that you're really sought after with consulting and mentorship. And I saw that your LinkedIn following has grown, so that's awesome. Congratulations. How did you tell us a little bit about your journey and how kind of you got here where you are today?
Of course, this is my favorite question. I feel everyone's journey is so unique, so it's important to tell yours. For me, I started my career when it was back in 2019 as a data science consultant. I was building models. I primarily focused on time series. And as Anna mentioned, I was in the healthcare space. So I was predicting, okay, how many drugs would be required for a patient in a month. It was kind of a life and death use case, very stressful, but very rewarding at the same time. And that kind of opened pathways for me. I decided and I realized the importance of strategy and technology if you want to launch something meaningful. And that's when I pivoted to ZS Associates, and that landed me to my current role. But it was all by accident and not by choice. I didn't know what I wanted to do when I graduated, just like many of you who might be here today. But as the opportunities came in, I just decided to say yes to everything, do some stretch projects, and ultimately realize what I wanted to do.
Yeah, so that's something, yeah, you guys can take away is say yes to everything because, yeah, I agree with you because the more things you can do, then the more people you can meet and learn and move yourself forward, right?
Exactly.
So what does the typical day look like for you now as a AI product manager at Morgan Stanley? How do you see this type of role evolving as well now that like the industry is so hot, how is your role going to change and what does it look like every day?
Yeah, that's another good point, right, Anna? As you mentioned, that AI is maturing. It's getting out of Jupyter notebooks and converting to products. So the role of a product manager will evolve. It will involve AI going forward as companies want to leverage, let's say, generative AI, synthetic data. So it will be on product managers to be able to efficiently manage it. That's exactly my role. We have our flagship products that I manage, that I make sure everything is going right in terms of customer acquisition. We are gaining customers. We are not losing any customers. We are providing top class customer experience. Morgan Stanley has rich customers, not even only rich in terms of dollars, but also rich customer centric data. So we have to make sure that everything is flowing currently. So the role starts with strategizing on what kind of data is available for us to even think about an AI product. And then we pivot and make our strategy more sophisticated to convert it into an AI powered product. product. So every day is different, every day is challenging, but at the same time, rewarding.
Yeah, no, that sounds like fun. I mean,
Yes,
not as stressful as the pharmaceutical thing for sure.
correct,
So,
correct. Yes.
and so now let's dive into synthetic data. And I think first of all, maybe you could tell me a little bit about what synthetic data is for those of us who are not really yet familiar with it and how it's generated.
As the name suggests, synthetic basically means artificial, right? So, synthetic data is an artificially generated data through machine learning algorithm. And specifically for synthetic data, it means using GANs, and GANs are have been around for quite a long now, and they are a popular algorithm that are used to generate this data. The only prerequisite if you want to generate synthetic data in your organization is to have some kind of a sample. That could be 10 rows of data, 5 rows of data, but they have to be high quality 10 rows of data, because they will be used as a baseline to be able to augment more data and generate more data.
Cool. No, that makes a lot of sense. And yeah, this is really, yeah, that's super interesting. And what are some of the advantages, I guess, of generating and using this data, especially in fintech?
So a lot of firms, when they are starting out, especially fintechs, usually are kind of correlated to a startup, or you might have a very interesting idea, but now you want to see what your end customers want. If you don't have real data, your baseline basically might be 10 or 15 records that you might have procured from another vendor, or you might have had it historically. But to be an AI powered company, you need more data, specifically if you're planning a deep learning project. That's a data intensive modeling exercise. So that is when synthetic data comes handy, that it gives you a way to augment data. So that is one of the biggest advantages. Second is, especially in the fintech space where customer privacy is taken extremely seriously, it is important to mask the important information, such as all the PII attributes. It might be SSNs or date of births. So synthetic data gives you a way to be able to mask that data, because all of the SSNs or the data of birth that are generated for your customers don't really exist in real life. So you can still use that to build your models, or just do a simple analysis if that's your goal. And yeah, I think those are the two main advantages of it. Yeah.
Cool. And what are some of the biggest challenges when you're incorporating systems in fintech in general, such as this and other, new systems that are coming out?
The one of the biggest challenges, Anna, I feel that it's easier said than done when I say that your baseline data should have a good quality. Sometimes our underlying data is not that clean, or it's biased, it's not inclusive, which makes it challenging to
Right.
be able to leverage this technology. So first, you have to go in your data, check the data quality, do some debiasing, make sure that your data is inclusive, so that the synthetic data that comes out can be inclusive as well. Because we don't want to exclude any population. We want to make a product that serves all the people.
100%.
And I think another challenge is just in terms of technology. It's still an expensive technology, because you need people with certain background, certain skill set to be able to use GANs. So if you don't have those resources available and you're trying to hire them, you might have to give away some dollars here. So yeah,
Right. Yeah. So I guess you'll have to make an investment, right, to get something, a benefit out of it.
yeah.
So do you think this would be kind of reachable or affordable for smaller companies and startups to use this? Or do you think this is more for like bigger orgs like yours to take advantage of, or like larger, just bigger 500 orgs?
I think this is a question that organizations should definitely ask themselves, considering that there are multiple vendors out there that you can procure the data from, or you can even hire them to generate synthetic data. or you can use in-house talent, right? Like you have multiple options here. So depending on where you are in terms of your AI or data life cycle, you might want to choose one option over the other. But I always feel that you should keep the benefits in mind. You should think about the end use case, the ROI that you might be expecting before making any such big investment. So it's always useful to start slow, start from a POC, and then build upon it rather than going all in.
Right. No, I think that's great advice for anything, right? You're starting, like, not even projects with synthetic data, but any project. So, yeah, that's great advice too. And let's, one last question I have for you is what is the current kind of AI trend that's not Chat GPT 4 that you are currently interested in that other data practitioners should know about that might not be, out there yet that I haven't heard about?
Yeah. I think there are multiple AI trends that I feel are not getting enough credit. And I don't blame people. I just feel ChatGPT has been very interesting. I feel like federated learning is one trend that might be gaining attention as people think about building cloud based solutions or even thinking about the privacy. Not many people want to start from scratch. So, federated learning is one way. And I think another trend and a change that I see in the industry would be that people are more aligned to building AI products rather than building AI solutions. And what I mean by that is now they are not just limited to Jupyter notebooks, or data scientists are not the only ones who are using this solution to build something and then communicating it to non-technical audience, but people want to empower their non-technical folks within the company by building solutions that increase efficiency. Now, that might be GPT or might not be GPT, but even simple automations and building simple products is becoming a prime focus with the launch of GPT, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. No, I feel like it's kind of opened up the gate for all these other opportunities, right? Like you said, the product versus solutions. Yeah, like I think that's definitely a huge wave of change here that we're seeing, and it's as exciting I think as when we first got like iPhones or something,
Yeah.
like
Or the
so.
internet.
And the internet, yeah, I mean, some people, yeah, I've heard people say that it's as big as that. Yeah, like it's kind of going to change how people use the internet, how like
Yeah.
kids learn, everything. So it's an awesome industry to be in. So, and yeah, like we'll see what happens. And as I said, we just talked before we got on camera that, it'll be interesting to see a year from now what people are going to share at our New York finance event. And even in December, I'm sure there's going to be 6 months from now some really interesting stuff that's
Yeah.
going to come out from now till then because everything moves so quickly.
Yeah. Exactly. That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
So no, thank you so much. That's all the questions that I've had, and it was really nice to chat with you today. And I really nice to meet you in person as well a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And you can learn more about the rise of synthetic data in fintech by actually seeing Supreet's full talk on our DSS NYC event, and we'll share that link with you guys in the chat here. And we'll be hosting another event, as I mentioned, in December. And so please keep an eye on that. And thank you so much for joining us today. And have a wonderful rest of the week, everyone. Bye.
Bye.